So my conclusion, but history will tell, is that like a week before, he suddenly saw, funnily enough, he said to me, but Bernard Kouchner, your friend Bernard Kouchner has said yes to Sarkozy. And I said, yeah, but I'm not Bernard Kouchner, Gordon. And so clearly he was modelling a government of all the talents on Sarkozy. And I think somebody, one of his advisors, I don't know which one it would be, but one of his advisors poddled on and said, this looks like a jolly good idea. Why don't we have a government of all the talents? And on that basis, he put the proposition to me. I have to say, you know, of all the people I didn't think, I mean, how do I say this kindly? Well, Gordon, he's not exactly, he is a tribalist. If there's any tribalist in the Labour Party, I mean, Gordon's a very strong, can you imagine being in I said to him, I can't see any point in having a Lib Dem garden shed in the gardens of number 10 Downing Street and calling that kind of partnership government. But it's clear to me that he had never been refused before. He'd never, since he came to government, made a proposition to somebody to do something of an important job and had them say no, because he was quite taken aback by the process.
But doesn't that in a way illustrate a classic problem for the Lib Dems more generally, where, I mean, I got a lot of flack some time ago for saying, well, the Lib Dems have got to decide whether they're a pressure group or a political party. And presumably most people go into politics because they want to exercise power, they want to change things. And in the end, that's the choice that a Liberal Democrat leader has got to make, because otherwise, what's the point? Sitting on the back benches for 40 years. People like David Laws, Jeremy Brown, they're not going to want to do that, are they?
Well, you must ask them. But the struggle I had with my party, and it was a struggle which was quite tough, but in the end we won against those who would prefer purity over anything else, who say we're not prepared to have power except entirely on our terms, which I think is a very silly position. I mean, my view is quite close to yours, Ian, if you can say that. It is that, you know, in the end, what matters is, can you change the government of your time so that the policies you believe in inform the process of the government for the benefit of the citizens in the country you serve. And if at the end of that is no, we were a jolly good unpaid think tank, then although that's an important function and not to be sneezed at, and a good guardian of the things that need to be guarded, including our civil liberties, in the end you'll be judged to the extent to which you can put your policies into operation, but not at any price. And I mean, I said to the party, we have to learn the compromises and disciplines of holding power. And by the way, I think we did. I mean, up and down the country, the Lib Dems were governing at the local level. I know you tend to dismiss that from Westminster, but it really matters. If the party was changed, it was because the disciplines that grew up in the party about how you handle power actually came not from Parliament, but through our local government sector. We shared power in Scotland, and we could have done in Wales as well. So it was not an insignificant thing. But at the end of the day, yeah, as a third party, you have to make your judgments about holding on to your principles or making the compromises necessary for power. But that judgment is not always made in favour of power. If it is the case that in order to get power you have to abandon the things you believe in, what's the point of having it? And if there's a worry about politics today more than any other, one or two worries, it would be difficult not to have them, it is that we are running a creedless political system. I mean, no longer do the great creeds inform our politics. If you think of the 20th century, the great interlocking creeds for which people would stand on barricades quite literally and be killed, they don't exist any longer. Politics at the top level today is not about creeds, it's about managerialism. Listen to what Blair said, I won't change much, but I'll govern you better. I'll manage the process better. Listen to what the Tories are saying today. You know, we won't change it, but we will manage the situation better. Now, I don't think politics uninformed by creeds is an entirely wholesome or dependable activity. And my view is that creeds are coming back because this politics that we've got at present is regarded by the electorate as shifty, as dishonest, and as quite tawdry, and it's doing us all some damage.
So how